Capricorn Sun, Moon, and Rising. But I'm cool though. I remember you. I remember you from last time, step 1, 1965-001. I'm glad you're cool and you're hanging out. Yeah, you got... Oof. Yeah, you got a lot. I'm gonna go on the limb. You know what? What was in your 12th house? Now I'm very curious because I think I've put this thing together in my head. I just want confirmation. So step 1965-001. What was in your 12th house? Do you remember? Do you know actually? I'm just gonna wait for you to respond. Somebody says they always have a lot of questions and then when they come here they go blank. Yeah, I can see that happening. It's just like so many things to keep track of. Okay, cool. Yeah, look it up because I'm trying to understand like what you did in a past life. Because something happened. Because that's just like way too much intensity. Like the universe is like, this person is gonna be serious. I need them serious. Like no jokes, no like messing around. It's gonna be serious. This life is a serious life of responsibility, no wiggle room. Like everything about you is serious. I'm like, what happened last time? Did you have Sag in your 12th house last time? Hi, thanks for coming. So Aries and Venus. Venus and Aries. Yeah, Venus and Aries. Jupiter in Aries right now. This is a great month for Aries. So yeah, I mentioned that people who are single, this is a great month for romance. For Aries, that goes for Aries placements, all Aries placements in your chart. Or for people that are unhappy in their relationship, there's probably going to be a couple of affairs during this time. There's a lot of electricity in the air around romance, and Aries, as you know, is an impulsive zodiac sign, so I see a lot of activity with people getting together very fast, not thinking things through, following the feeling, just being authentically in the moment, and just going with that. Hi, Miss Faith, thanks for joining. So yeah, I think if you're single looking for love, I'm not sure what you are doing to find love, but if you are doing the things that you need to do, which is to put yourself out there, to leave your house, and I say that because I know earth signs do not like to leave their house. And if you don't want to leave your house, you're going to have to get on the dating app because you can't have it both ways where you don't want to physically go meet people and you don't want to meet people online because then you're meeting nobody. You have to get realistic about the fact that you have to get out. You have to get in front of people if you want to meet people. You have to do something. It's not just going to show up at your door knocking. So, you know, this is a great period for love, for that placement. So if you're looking for something new, if you were to take a chance and go out, you will find it. Capricorn doesn't want to leave. Yeah, I can relate. I'm a Capricorn stellium. One thing that has come out of the pandemic that I'm really grateful for is that it's helped me realize how much more of an introvert than I am. I think I always thought I was like more of an ambivert, which I don't know. I think on this scale, I'm still like right there on the edge, where I really just like being at home and I really enjoy being by myself. Like I enjoy it. It brings me a lot of satisfaction, actually. So if you want me to leave my house, you have to make it worthwhile. It's got to be for a good reason. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Your son asked you if you're wanting for your love to break it. I love that about kids. Kids are so honest. They will keep you honest. They're like, what you want? You think this person is just going to break through the house and say, here I am, That's funny. Kids are hilarious. These kids are so smart nowadays. So smart. They can figure all of it out. They put two and two together. They've got the whole story down. They're like, you need to get a life, okay? I need you to find someone and you need to get a life. It's very hard for earth signs. And the other thing is that earth signs also don't trust. They don't trust anyone or anything. They don't trust easily, especially Capricorn. Oh my God, Capricorn never trusts anybody ever. At least with Taurus, you can get to a point where they get comfortable, but I don't know about Capricorn. Yeah, like earth signs always think people are up to something. Earth signs always think people want something. They always think people are trying to threaten their security. Like, what do you want? You know, it's really hard for earth signs to really connect with people. Like, even me, like when people give me a compliment, I'm like, what do you want? What do you want? Like, let's get to it. Like, I already know we're trying to get somewhere. So let's just cut to the chase and just tell me up front what you want, and I'll see if it's something I can give you or not before you waste all your time and mine. You know, and I know it's not healthy, and I know it's a really like messed up way to think, but honestly, that's how I feel. Like, compliments never go to my head. They never go to like, they never make me feel like, whoo, I'm gassed up. Like, whoo, like never, because I'm like suspicious, you know, and it's not healthy. I know it's not healthy. I know this, and I appreciate it. You know, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm too good for it. It's not that. It's that I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's happening over there? Like, what you got going on that you're trying to bring over here? It's just, yeah, somebody said Sagittarius are like that. Yeah. I mean, with all the Sagittarius and Capricorn energy, it's hard for me to really fall for the okie doke, you know? You got to really do something for me to get interested, because I'm hard to impress. Capricorn here, yeah, it's a Capricorn thing, and it's a Sagittarius thing. It's just, it's like, we need to know that what we're seeing is real. So we ask questions and we watch. That's what it is. That was a good question. Yeah, so if you're an earth sign, you know, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to get on the dating app. And I know it's not how you want to meet someone. I know you think in your magical world that you're just going to go shopping at Wegmans, and then in aisle 5, just as you're getting ready to grab that can of corn, there he comes, you know, handsome, smelling good, nicely dressed, you know, looking right. He just got off work, and he's got like a glimmer of hope in his eyes, you know, and he looks like chiseled, you know, polite, kind, you know, warm eyes. Hi, what are you shopping for? Like, girl, I know. She's like, girl, just like that. Girl, I know that's the dream, but let me tell you, that's not how it goes nowadays. Because he's just like you. He's like, what is she up to? He's just like you. He's just like you. He doesn't trust anybody either. Because we're living through a pandemic. Everybody's traumatized. Okay? Nobody trusts like they used to trust anymore. Everybody's just out here trying to survive. So nobody's like as open as they used to be. All of us have lost a lot of our social skills since the pandemic has started. You know, people spend more time with people that they're comfortable now compared to before. You know, I know we're not like full lockdown, but I really think the whole lockdown thing has like changed us. At least for me, I feel like I'm not the same person. So I think everybody's a little bit on edge, like until we get back to normal for everybody. So yeah, that's not how you're going to meet him. You're going to have to put forth an effort. Or, you know, I know you want to meet, and another earth sign dream is to meet them through somebody that they know. And that one is probable more so than the grocery store one. But again, like less people are going out the house. It's just a little bit harder. So, yeah, you're going to have to go out in public. I know, be around their humans. Yuck. I know. If earth signs can never leave their house ever, they would be very happy. Like if everything came home. They would be very, very happy. Alright, so next question. Saturn in Aquarius included. What do you mean by that? What do you mean Saturn in Aquarius included? You're open? Well, good for you. You have to be open. If you want to find love, you can't at the same time resent it. You do have to be available for it. And I don't mean just emotionally, you have to be physically available for it too. The mere act of leaving your home is an indication of that availability. Your unwillingness to leave your house, is an indication that you're not open to inviting new energies. So yeah, it requires certain steps. Oh, you're a Libra. Yeah, Libra loves love. So you've got this. Libra loves love. The problem with Libra though is Libra wants a love that is hard to sustain. Libra's version of love is so fantasy ridden that it's not really a sustainable version. It's one that is only for the movies and the storybooks. And Libra will deny this till they die. But the truth is, as soon as the monotony of love kicks in, Libra starts to get wandering eyes, because Libra wants constant entertainment. Libra wants constant infatuation. They want constant wonder. They want the magic of love. They want the fantasy of it. They want to breathe it. They want to smell it. They want to feel it. They want trips to Paris. Libra wants, green tea and mint, body scrubs and double couple massages, Libra wants to go down the street to the cafe and listen to jazz music and drink espresso all night and talk and, look longingly in each other's eyes and writing each other's love poems upstairs. That's Libra. Just glimpses of love everywhere. And I understand Libra. I get the appeal. I understand the fantasy, but it's not real love, because real love is not always in that scenario. Sometimes it's in the waiting room at the ER. Sometimes it's holding their hair up while they're throwing up in the bathroom. And sometimes it's doing the laundry so everybody has something clean to wear. And yeah, that's not sexy, I know. It's not very exciting either, but, love cannot sustain on this level all the time. It has to have those moments for it to be exciting, but that can't be the default. But unfortunately, Libra thinks that's the default. Somebody says Libra doesn't do hard, the boring and the hard. Yes, Libra does not do boring or hard. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. Libra doesn't do boring or hard. Oh my God, holy shit. Are you serious? Didn't I tell you that I was afraid he was Sagittarius? Did you hear me say that? Please tell me you heard me say that. And if you didn't hear me say that, I'm so glad that this live is recorded, because I'm going to put that live on YouTube when we're done here, and I want you to go back and watch if you didn't hear me say that, and hear me say that, because I said that on the live, that I have a feeling it's going to be Sagittarius, because God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, wanted you to be super responsible, because Sagittarius is super irresponsible. Well, there you go. That's what I knew it was. I knew it was Sagittarius in your 12th house. I knew it. I knew it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. You go and watch. You did hear me. Yay. I'm glad you heard me. I know my stuff. I knew it. I knew it. That's what karma is about. We come back to master the things we need to learn. Sagittarius in 12th house does things that hurt themselves and other people, but they're completely oblivious to the fact that their actions have consequences. Sagittarius in 12th house cannot connect these two things, actions and consequences. Karma. That is the basic definition of karma. This thing is going to have this impact. Sagittarius just chooses to be reckless and careless about whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. Like, yay! slipping down the slope. And then later it goes, oh, I fucked that up, didn't I? Yeah, you did. You broke the whole thing. Now nobody's having fun. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for all that. That was great. So Sagittarius in 12th house, oftentimes, karmically speaking, has done things that have been so, not good at all. There have been times people have literally died because of things that Sagittarius in 12th house have done, because of their carelessness. And yes, I know they didn't intend to kill anyone. I get that. But the fact that a person lost their life because you're being careless, that's still something you have to deal with, and that's usually the karma of Sagittarius in 12th house. So this round, God was like, I'm not playing around with you, okay? Because it's very clear, I can't just give you responsibility in one area for you to get the point and stay on track. This time, this is what we're going to do. You're going to be a Capricorn Sun, a Capricorn Moon, Capricorn Rising, Venus, Mars. God was just throwing all the Capricorn at you at this point. He's like, fuck this. We ain't having fun no more because you don't know how to act. You don't know how to act. So that's it. We're done having fun. From the age of 3 years old, you're going to start raising some people, okay? And I'm going to need you to keep that same energy until you're old, because I don't need you out there ruining lives. That's what it is. I knew it. I could just feel it in my spirit, because I'm like, why is the universe being so hard on this girl? That's a lot of Capricorn. Lord, one of them is enough to make somebody crazy. And 3 back to back? What'd she do? Because that's always my thought. From an astrology standpoint, I'm always like, what did you do in your last life? Whenever I see these types, I'm like, what'd you do? Like the other lady on the chat. When she said Leo 12th house, I was like, oh, I knew what it was. Yeah. Who we are is because of who we weren't. Okay? When we die, we come back. I know people have a hard time believing it, but it's the truth. And there's not a religious book alive on this earth that doesn't teach that. For those of you who don't believe it, I need y'all to know that this teaching is reflected in all of the religious spiritual books as well. It's different variations of it, but it's the same thing, that when we die, we don't really die, because our spirit never dies. Science teaches the same thing. Energy never dies. When we die, we come back. The stuff that you did before, you're going to come back and have to fix that. Yeah, it's like a revolving wheel in a sense. Thank you for saying that. We're here to grow, to master, to evolve. If in the last life I give you a lot of freedom and you were reckless with it, in this life I'm going to tighten the reins because I need you to get it together. Now that, when I know you can get it together, then I can loosen it up, because clearly this is too much for you. You need this. You need a grip. God got you in a chokehold in this point. God is like, she ain't doing nothing. Nothing. You're going to be working. It's going to be family drama. And you're going to be working some more. That's what it is. That's all you got in this life. Work, family drama. That's all you're getting. So no parties for you. No international travels for you. No kissing underneath the Eiffel Tower for you. Oh my God, that's too funny. Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it. I still get surprised. Even though I know it, I still get surprised when people confirm, like, yep, that's what's going on with me. I'm like, of course. You know why? Because I believe God is fair. I believe the universe is fair. I believe ultimately everything that we go through is a result of everything that we've been. I don't think any of us get more of a raw deal than another person. I think everything that happens to us is exactly what we need and what we deserve. I really believe that. I sincerely believe that. Even the difficult things, I think they're all are here to teach us, to help us grow. Because all of us have been the villain in somebody's story. Not in this life, maybe in another life. So, all right, that was interesting. Okay. Capricorn in 12th house. Oh, since now we're getting into 12th house karma. Okay, let's get into it. I like it. Welcome to everybody who's just joining. Hi, Talisha. Thanks for coming. No, work is never fun for Capricorn. Honestly, can I tell you a secret? So you guys know I'm a Capricorn stellium. Like, hi! Hi, Talisha. So work for me, this is going to sound batshit insane. And trust me, I know I have my issues, okay? We all got issues. I know I got mine, okay? I actually find work to be therapeutic. Yeah, I do. I find it to be healing. Because I got all this Capricorn in my chart, I find it to be healing. When I have problems in life, like problems that I can't solve that are stressing me out, that's when I get the most juice to actually like create stuff. That's when I get a second job. That's when I'm working from sunset to sunset to sunrise. I love working. Like, it heals me. It sounds crazy, I know. I know it sounds crazy. Because that's not how you're supposed to be enjoying life. But yeah, for me, it's truly healing. Somebody said it can be, not healing, but great for zoning out of real issues. Yeah, it literally heals me. Like, it keeps me together. It keeps me grounded. That's what happens when you got a lot of Capricorn. So me, like, because of all the Capricorn I know in my chart, I know that in my last life, I was wilding out. I know this. You don't have to tell me nothing. I know. Because ain't no way God gave me all this Capricorn for no reason. I know I was doing the most. He's like, this girl needs to sit down somewhere, okay? She needs to be responsible because this ain't it. So here we are. Now I'm like a grandmother. I've been a grandmother my whole life. Saying you work through pain? Yeah, pretty much. Work is so healing. People go and cry. I don't go and cry. I get busy. And maybe like that's how I release my pain. And I'm not like, by the way, those of you who cry, I'm not sticking my nose up at you. To be honest, I'm a little jealous. I wish I could cry easily. I wish those tears came out easy for me, but they don't. I've got all this energy that doesn't make it easy for it to come out. I wish it did. But when I work, like the pain of that work, like it heals me. So Capricorn in 12th house. Capricorn in 12th house is somebody who died in a previous life overworking. Like working too much. Not to turn this into a dark conversation around work. Capricorn is here to work though. But when you have it in a 12th house, it's somebody that does it too much but doesn't realize they're overdoing it, okay? So they died either overworking or they lived a really harsh life, either like as a monk where they were isolated from society, or lived a harsh life where they were physically disabled and people made them feel isolated from society. So there's a theme of isolation, there's a theme of suffering, and there's a theme of hard work. So when Capricorn is in your 12th house, you generally come into this life with a sense of seriousness about you, because in your last life, everything was tough. Capricorn in 12th house don't get a break. They get a lot of responsibilities in this life as well. And the other thing is they always feel like life is heavy on their shoulders. So even when life is good, they don't know how to find joy and fulfillment. Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for coming. They don't know how to hold on to that joy. So even when there are happy moments, the happy moments never last forever. There's always a feeling of dread, a feeling of loss, a feeling of misery, a feeling of suffering that covers everything that they are. So even when life is good, those dark feelings are still a part of their identity. Somebody says, yes, mom said I was a sad kid, mysteriously. Yes, Capricorn in 12th house is sad all the time. Even when they're happy, there's still a little bit of sadness because in their last life, they really suffered. So Capricorn in 12th house came back in this life. If you're still working on that same thing, you're here to learn how to connect to other people. You know, you feel like other people aren't listening to you and other people aren't connecting with you, but the real issue, oh, thank you, Tashnamani, for subscribing. I appreciate it. The real issue is that Capricorn in 12th house has been through so much trauma in previous life that when they come in this life, they really want to like isolate themselves from people. It's almost like they want to build a wall around themselves to keep themselves safe from all the pain that they've suffered. So they don't know how to open up to people. They don't know how to connect with people. And they feel like people don't get them and people don't understand them. When the truth is, it's the reverse. It's that Capricorn doesn't trust people. Capricorn doesn't trust life. And Capricorn isn't really wanting to be open to people because they're afraid that being open means being hurt again. And the way they see it, they've already been hurt enough from previous lives. So that pain is still very much so in their DNA, in their soul. They haven't forgotten about it. So they don't want to risk, because Capricorn takes very calculated risks. They don't like risky things. So they don't want to risk the possibility of opening up to you and for you to bring them more pain. Because they already have enough pain to last 100 lives. Because, Capricorn is stubborn. So I'm sure Capricorn in 12th house has had to work that placement numerous times, because Capricorn is not somebody that you're just going to be like, go this way. And they're going to be like, okay, let's go. No, they're not doing that. They're asking you, but why? But why? And then they're challenging you. What about this? What about that? And that's how I was as a kid, irritating the shit out of my mom. That poor woman. God bless her. God bless her. I don't know how she did it. It's a lot, raising a Capricorn kid. On top of that, you got a slick mouth. How are you going to be too damn smart for your own good with a slick mouth? So they don't trust anybody. They don't listen. That's the other thing, because they're an old soul. So when they come back as a child, they don't listen, because they feel like they're on the same playing field as you. Because they come in as an adult. They come in as a grandparent. So I was 3 years old talking to my mom like we were the same. She's like, do this. I'm like, but why do I got to do that? And she's like, who are you? But my spirit is old. I don't know that I'm 3 years old. I feel like a grandmother. And if I feel like what you're doing is wrong and what you're talking about is not correct, I feel like it's my responsibility to get you back into the truth. To get you back into alignment, into reality. Get you back into the facts of the matter. So we're on the same page. Unfortunately, when you're a mother, with 3 other kids, and one of them that's just like this, wanting to challenge you back and forth, it's exhausting. So that's what it's like being a Capricorn or 12th house child. You come in with this old energy, this old spirit, all of this suffering, and you don't want to be open, and you don't trust people, but you say people don't connect with you, but you don't connect with them. So you're here to learn how to be open to other people, because Capricorn is actually here to be a leader. You're here to lead people. You're not here to live a life of isolation, completely removed from everybody. You're here to use your pain as a source of wisdom to help guide people, to help people overcome some of the things that you've had to go through so that can avoid some of the mistakes that you've made in your life. You're also here to be generous with your spirit by blessing people with your presence, blessing people with your divine energy, with your wisdom. And more importantly, blessing people with your finances. Because that's the other part of Capricorn in 12th house, is that if they were not living a life of suffering, if they were wealthy, there were people that used illegal means to attain their wealth. There were people that used treacherous ways to obtain their wealth, but in a way that undermined other people. So it's not just illegal or treacherous. It's doing things, using means that step on other people's rights, using means that undermine other people's existence, and basically usurping your power in a way that puts other people at a disadvantage. Now, you know that whole concept of stepping on top of people to get to the top of the ladder? Yes. So even if Capricorn wasn't poor and didn't suffer a harsh, difficult life, even if Capricorn was wealthy, they were morally poor. They were spiritually poor. They did not feel connected with other people emotionally, physically, spiritually. So they treated people like people were things that were at their disposal for whatever their means were at the moment. So if I want this thing and you're in the way, I'm going to get you out of the way to get this thing. I don't care how you feel about it. So in this life, Capricorn comes in with a very cold heart because of this background, but they're here to learn how to put blood back into their heart. by connecting with other people. So think about it. The sister of Capricorn is Cancer. All Cancer does is connect. The crab is always trying to hold on to somebody. That's all Cancer does. Cancer wants to build relationships. They want to connect. They get emotionally involved. Like, they're available. They give of themselves, of their emotions, of their energy to other people. This is, I recently made a video about the people that usually get used in friendships. And Cancer was at the top of that list because that's Cancer. Cancer is very generous energetically. Capricorn is a sister sign of Cancer, where there are two sides of the same coin. While Cancer is overly generous, Capricorn is the least generous energetically. Capricorn's attitude is, you have to prove to me that you're worthy of my time and my energy before I give it to you. And I'm going to watch you for a long time. And what I mean by a long time is 10, 20 years. I don't mean just like 30 minutes. And I don't need any deviations in that energy. Because if you make mistakes in those 10, 20 years, I'm going to act like I never knew you. And that's that. We're going to move on from there. Like, nice lesson. Nice try, but it wasn't good enough, okay? You need to try a little bit harder, right? You're not doing a good job, so now I no longer trust you. Your skill has been reset to 0. And moving on to the next candidate. Who's next? That's Capricorn. That's Capricorn. Because it's too much hurt. It's too much trauma. And even I still have these reactions. Even though I know all this. And even though I have 20 years of mental health knowledge. Even though I have all this astrology knowledge. Even though I have all of this human development knowledge. I still operate like this till this day. If I don't know somebody for 10, 20 years, I'm never 100% comfortable. It takes me a long time. It really does. Like, I have to really know you. It takes me a long time to get comfortable with people for that reason. Too much hurt. I can't risk it. And I'm not saying it's healthy. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that is how Capricorn is built. That's how Capricorn thinks. And all of that is related to karma. So that's Capricorn in 12th house. You're here to learn to connect and to be generous of spirit. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again because you don't get to go through all that pain and learn all these lessons to not use it because that's lazy. So Capricorn, since you're allergic to laziness and you like working, that is really what you're here for. You're not here to work yourself physically to death. You're here to work yourself emotionally, spiritually, physically. You, Capricorn, in 12th house, should be spending time by yourself routinely to be by yourself. Because honestly, that is when you feel the most comfortable, is when you're alone with God, with the universe, with source, whatever you want to call it. You need to routinely be doing that so you stay grounded and centered, because you have a tendency to lean towards the darkness, the negativity. And after a while, it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy where you only expect bad things out of life and bad things out of people. And you expect the worst all the time. So then what happens is that you keep getting the worst when you go out, because that's all you're willing to see. Somebody said, oh my God, I just said that. I feel good alone. Yeah, that's where you feel the best. But to be honest, that's when you're your most honest self. That's when you're the most real self. When you're alone with God or with source, with the universe. So you need to be cultivating that, because that's where you develop the courage. Because Capricorn, hear me clearly and hear me loud. Capricorn, it is a courage issue, okay? And I know you don't want to hear this because Capricorn is like, I'm unbreakable, and I know I am too. I am too unbreakable, I know. But it is a courage issue. It's because you're afraid. You're afraid, you're scared. That's why you do this. So when you're alone with God, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it, that's where you get the confidence to know that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. So then you can come out of your bubble and bless the people with the things that you're supposed to bless them with, which is wisdom. and generosity and humanitarianism. You're supposed to help people. And you can't do that if you're afraid of them. So that's Capricorn in 12th house. And by the way, I know I just made a karma from your previous live video last week. And I know I didn't finish all 12 of them. I was going to record it yesterday. Well, I recorded it 2 days ago, but then I realized I missed somebody, so I'm going to have to re-record it. Hopefully I'll get to re-record it after this so that I can release it, because I definitely want to release it by the end of this week so everybody knows what their karma is from their 12th house. So if you're one of those that hasn't heard yours, like Capricorn is one, Aquarius, all the ones after Virgo, I think I stopped at Leo. So Virgo all the way down, yours is coming. So please be patient with me. I'll get it out by Friday, I promise. Scorpio in 12th house, please. Thank you for asking. So Scorpio in 12th house in the past life was involved in the life of crime or violence. So definitely a theme of crime, violence, and darkness. Scorpio in 12th house, I'm scared. You should be scared. You know what Scorpio is. You know what it is. You know what it is. Scorpio is Capricorn's sister. Those two are like this. Besties for life. That's the darkness gang. You should be scared. You know what Scorpio is. Yeah, it is what it is though. What you gonna do? Karma is what it is. We all got our karma. So, Scorpio in 12th house, you probably died a very violent death, or you died in a life of crime, basically. Oh, hi. Hello, mate. Scorpio in 12th house, if they worked it in the negative, usurped their power in a previous life. So much like Capricorn, right? So slightly different, but still the same. Much like Capricorn, Scorpio used their power to dominate other people. And they will use that effect in different settings. So they will either dominate other people sexually, dominate other people financially, dominate other people emotionally, but it was more like about power and control. Like, I'm going to control you, I'm going to dominate you, and it's not about love, and it's not about trying to get anywhere. It's just for the sheer joy of feeling like they have power and they have control. So slightly different than Capricorn in terms of the motivation. Capricorn just wants to get wealthy, and Scorpio just wants to feel powerful. So it's not unusual for people with Scorpio in 12th house to deal with a lot of theme around sexual violence or financial violence, financial abuse or emotional abuse for that reason, or sexual abuse for that reason, because of previous karma with that. In this life, Scorpio in 12th house is supposed to learn about empathy and compassion, which is something Scorpio in 12th house lacks. And if this is not their first round working through that, then you're going to see that. These are people that generally are not very empathetic. They're not very sensitive to what other people are going through. They don't really have a good pulse on how, other people are feeling. And even if they do, they hardly ever care, unless whatever is going on benefits them. So Scorpio naturally tends to be very self-serving. Zodiac sign in general, some are self-serving and some are less self-serving. Scorpio tends to be self-serving, and it's because of this kind of scarcity that Scorpio lives with. So much like Capricorn, it's been a rough year for Scorpio. Yeah, it has been. It has been. I know. So much like Capricorn, Scorpio lives in a deep state of fear at all times. Regardless of what they're telling you, what they're showing you, Scorpio is always fearful. They live in a deep state of fear because of their, origin story. But when you have Scorpio in the 12th house, they know what they've done in previous lives. They don't remember all the details, but the energy follows them. So there's like an energy of mistrust because they don't trust themselves. They know what they've done. So they're like, if I think I'm such a good person and I've, murdered someone or killed someone, or I was involved in a life of crime where I pillaged through villages to get my drugs or whatever, then I know anybody can do anything because I know I did anything. You know what I mean? So it's like Scorpio knows the darkness because they were involved in it, deep in it. That's why they don't trust anybody, is because they don't trust themselves. It's like they think, if I'm this dark, then you must be this dark too, because I don't think I'm a bad person and I've done all these horrible things. So why should I trust you? Because I know what humans are really capable of, because I've done it all. I've seen it all. I've done it all. Scorpio's done all the dark, horrible, violent, awful things that you can imagine. So in this life, they're supposed to actually learn how to feel compassion for other people, learn how to feel empathy for other people, and really turn to their spirituality as a way to connect with other people more deeply, and to use the hurt that they experience in this life, because unfortunately for them, when they come this life, they get met with a lot of violence right away. Usually Scorpio in 12th house has like a lot of violence in their life, or a lot of aggression. It's not unusual for them to have their own traumatic stories as well from childhood, with Scorpio in 12th house. So all of that came in this life to them as karma from before, so that they can learn what it feels like to be on the receiving end of that violence, because the universe is all about balancing out the scale, so that they can go out and like teach us that, hey, it's not cool to do that. It's not cool to beat people, or to be involved in the life of crime, or to be violent against other people, or to be raping people. Like, it's hurtful, it's not cool, it's not what we want to do. So that's basically, somebody says, is that the reason why I'm so into watching crime documentaries? Yeah, probably why. That's exactly why. Yeah, because that's a life you're familiar with. You're comfortable with it. I'm going to share with you another secret, since tonight I'm in the mood for sharing secrets. I love crime shows as well, but because of my Capricorn like heavy chart, right, and Saturn is my chart ruler in Vedic astrology, and in Vedic astrology, I'm a Scorpio stellium, so I have a lot of Scorpio Capricorn in my chart, so I know I'm a karmic. Whatever. I know I've done some bad things. That's why I'm on this side of the track this time around. But here's the secret part. Whenever I'm watching a show, it doesn't even matter if I come in the middle of the show, if I come in at the beginning of the show, if I come in at the end of the show. Whenever, plop me anywhere in front of the television and there's a show going on, and show me the characters, I promise you, whoever is my favorite character is always going to end up being the bad guy. It's like I can sniff them out from a mile away. Sniff them out from a mile away. It's like my spirit just knows. Like, yep, that's the one. That's the one. You know, so it's like your spirit never forgets. Like, your soul never forgets. Like, all the horrible things that we've done before, we get to experience them in another way, you know. If you have, you know, been violent towards other people in another life, then yeah, in this life you're going to experience some violence against you, so you know what that feels like. And then you can learn from that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying people need to experience violence. I'm saying that is the basic definition of karma, like cause and effect. We don't have the viewpoint of all of our lives to understand how that plays out, you know, in reality. You know, we're just looking myopically at like this incident in this timeline, but we don't see what's happened over 1,000 years of us being on this earth, or millennia for some of us. We don't know what we've done. And we're not sent if we're here on earth. Have you looked around? This place is hell. There are no angels here. Everybody who's here is not an angel. Everybody who's here is here to work on something. We're here because we fucked up. Hello? Nobody's here because they're great. That's why when people think they're perfect, it irks me to no end, because I'm like, then why are you here on earth? Because God doesn't send perfect people to earth. The perfect people are angels. So if you're not an angel and you're a human being and you're here on earth, then you're not perfect. You're here because you fucked up. That's why we're here. Yeah. We're going to keep trying until we get it right. But I just need everyone to get on the same page as me, which is that we're here because we fucked up. We're not here because we got it figured out. Because this is a university. We're here for our training. That's why we're here. There's no other reason why we got sent to Earth. There's no other reason. Yes! Purgatory on repeat. Yes! That's what this is. That's exactly what this life is. That's why I don't believe in the hell that's like a place filled of brimstone and fiery burning place. Because I'm like, have you looked around on Earth? This is pretty bad. And then when you die, you come right back. Yeah, that sounds about hellish to me. Sounds about hellish to me. Alright, so let me take the next question. Somebody said they have Scorpio North Node in the 6th house. What does it mean? So Scorpio North Node means your South Node is Taurus. You're here to learn to trust your instincts. You're here to learn to be more self-serving, like prioritize what your needs are emotionally and commit to them. You're here to learn that you can do it by yourself. You need to stop depending on other people for support because they're not going to give it to you. You're here to learn to go at it alone so that you can surprise yourself with how strong you are. You're here to learn to also trust your intuition because Scorpio is a very good at deciphering information with very little to go off of. Sometimes it doesn't all make sense. It's just a vibe. You're supposed to just go with that and separate yourself from materialism a little bit because that's what Taurus is all about. Taurus is all about like how it looks as opposed to how it feels. And Scorpio is all about how it feels as opposed to how it looks. So if it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. But for Taurus, it cannot feel right. But if it looks right, Taurus is excited. So you're here to check in with yourself more. And then the 6th house usually rules health. And so when we're talking about Scorpio in 6th house, you want to, if you're trying to like get healthy, you want to maintain a routine that is consistent. That's the other thing with Scorpio. They don't do anything they don't want to do, and they like doing things in the routine kind of way. They're kind of set in their ways. So if you are trying to get in a health and wellness routine, then create something that's consistent, create something that you care about, because it's not going to work unless you care, because Scorpio, again, is very self-serving. So recognize that about that energy, because Scorpio is not interested in something that does not interest them. So pick something that interests you and then create a specific routine with it that you can keep up with. But the fact that it's also in your 6th house, it's definitely an indication of like concerns around health issues. So I would be if I were you, I would be more on top of my health because my North Node is also in my 6th house. So there's a desire in this life to move you towards somebody that's more healthy. And it may also be more spiritually healthy because Scorpio is about spirituality. It's about death and rebirth. So Maya, I now am very curious because I feel like this is not just about physical. Are you like a spiritual or religious person? What's going on with that part of your life? Talk to me, Maya. I'm just going to wait for you to respond because I feel like there's a story here. Thank you to all of you who are sharing this live with other people. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amir, and welcome. Yeah, feel free to drop your question, and if I don't see it, feel free to repeat it. Do you have a spiritual practice? Is your spiritual practice different from that of your family? What's going on with that? Talk to me about that. Like any changes with like your spirituality compared to your family? Going through so much emotionally. So talk to me about the spiritual faith element of this. Okay, so Lulu, just hold on to that and I'll come back to that. Saturn return. Okay, so this is what I will say. You need to decide like spiritually what you want to do in terms of like how you want to approach your relationship with God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. And you need to consistently go with that. And you need to go with what makes you feel right, not what you were raised with. I got the sense that there was a difference in how your family worships versus you. And I knew there was a story there because I knew it. I just knew it because Scorpio energy is very into transformation and it's dramatic. It's never a quiet energy. So you're here to reconcile with yourself emotionally and spiritually. You're here to set your own trajectory emotionally and spiritually, mentally, and to really prioritize your emotional and mental health by leaning on your faith as a source of support. You're not going to make it without spirituality. Let me just be very clear. You're not going to make it without spirituality. You need to get into a consistent spiritual routine that keeps you grounded, so that you can get to your mental health, because you will have that, having that as in your 6th house and your North Node. In a previous life, you probably were not very good with taking care of yourself. Do you know what's in your 12th house? I'm very curious now. So Maya, do you know what is in your 12th house? I'll wait for you to answer. Taurus. Okay. Yeah, so in the past life, you had all of the material things and you thought it was going to make you happy, and it didn't, and it made you crazy. Yep. You're probably in an arranged marriage too. Yeah. You didn't have the freedom that you needed in the past life. In this life, you're supposed to break free from those traditions and redefine yourself in a way that feels authentic, because it's going to drive you crazy. Yeah, Mercury in Taurus, so you're also not very good with communicating. Yeah, you need to go inward. I need you to go inside. I need you to recognize what feels true for you. And then I want you to hold on to that part of you. And I need you to go there every time you need help to make your way through, because you're not going to make it if you keep looking outside for other people to tell you which way to go, because these people don't know which way you're supposed to go. You're supposed to go a whole new way that they've never gone before. What happened in the past life is you gave up your freedom to attach yourself to a system because you thought it was going to make you happy, trying to follow the rules, doing the traditional thing, and it made you miserable, and it probably made you feel crazy in your head. So in this life, God is saying, I need you to focus on your emotional mental health, and the source of the suffering is the division in the ideas that people have about how to connect with your true essence and with God. So once you connect with God in your true essence in your own way, in a way that feels honest and real for you, this is going to be right and this is going to be right. And it's not going to matter what they say, what they think, because you know it's true. But if you keep closing your eyes to what you feel and you keep looking outside for people to tell you what to do, they're going to be taking you here and here and here and here, and you're not going to be right. And you're never going to be right in your heart. So that's what you're here to do. Don't let them trick you. Sometimes people have karmics in their own families to mislead them. This is the truth. Sometimes God will give you people in your family just to distract you, to mislead you, to confuse you, to take you off your path. You have to stay true to your path. Scorpio energy knows what's real, that know what's not real. Scorpio thrives in the darkness. Scorpio is never confused about what is the truth and what is not the truth. So don't let them try to talk to you out of your truth. Because you know, if your body doesn't feel right, if your spirit doesn't feel right, if your feelings don't feel right, it's not right. I don't care how much you love them. You go with that. You go with what feels right, because in the end, that's what you have to answer to. Your karma is with you. It's not with them. Okay? Oh, poor baby. I can tell you've been through hell. Such a generous heart. You have to learn how to protect yourself too. That's the other thing. Now I want to see you in a reading. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I could just feel it. You've been overextending yourself to these people, and it's never going to be enough. So you have to do what's right for you. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So Scorpio North Node in 11th house. Okay, so Tashmani, I want you to hold on to that. Before you, there was another subscriber that had a question that I said I was going to answer next. So Tashmani, I'm going to come back to you. Please bring it back. I'm going to go to her, then I'm going to come back right back to you. So let me go back. Okay, it was Lulu. TikTok has made me so worried about my Saturn return. Pisces in 11th house. What should I expect? And I'm gonna go ahead and for the comments, I'm just gonna leave it at you guys, the subscribers, so I don't miss anything. So bear with me while I do that. Thank you to everybody who's asked me questions tonight and who commented and who are my subscribers and who show up for this live. I appreciate it. I'm just going to take these last 2 subscribers' questions, and that's going to be it for this evening. And of course, I'll be back on again on Friday, 2 p.m. as I mentioned earlier. So if I didn't answer your question, I'll get a chance to do so on Friday, okay? So Saturn return, the reason why TikTok has made you worried about it is because Pisces does not like responsibility. So that's why it feels that way. Pisces does not like responsibility. Remember how earlier we said Libra doesn't like hard and boring? Pisces doesn't like hard either. That's the one thing those two have in common. So when those two fall in love, it tends to be a lot of fun times because it almost feels magical because they have the same vibration, which is we want a pleasurable life. And we don't want drama and we don't want stress. So if there's hard, there's stress. If there's no pleasure, we don't want it. So they have that in common. They both don't like that. And Saturn, which rules Capricorn, which is why Capricorn is so cold and dark, is about nothing but rules. Capricorn is about rules. Capricorn is about regulations. Capricorn is about seriousness. Capricorn takes everything seriously. And that's why a lot of times, we get called not fun, is because when you're ruled by Saturn, you can't be fun. You can't be fun. I was telling the girl we had earlier who I knew had too much fun in her past life. And God was like, let me just throw all these Capricorn energy at her because she needs more of it. It's not that Capricorn doesn't know how to have fun. They just know the time and the place. And Pisces doesn't like responsibility. Pisces just wants to live in their dreamy world. So what you're probably going to experience is you're going to have to get real about your friend group and your social group and even some people in your family. Because there's some people in there that are not helping you get to where you're trying to go. There's some people in there whose energies are sucking away at your energy. There's some people in there whose negativity is eating you up from the inside. But you've been looking the other way because they're your friend, because they're your family, because they're your this, because they're your that. What's going to happen is that you're going to run into situations where one of these people is going to do something that really highlights that they're not for you. They're going to up the ante, whether do something really big that makes you see that these people are harmful for you. And only then, I would hope, would you make the decision to separate yourself from those people. But this is where you're being called to, is you need to look at the people in your circle, look to see who's building you up, look to see who's tearing you down, look to see who's feeding you energetically. And you know what I'm talking about. If you got Pisces in 11th, you know about the energies. Look to see who's feeding you energetically and look to see who's sucking the life out of you. You know what that feels like when somebody comes around and all of a sudden the air out of the room is gone, or they come in and they take up all the air in the room. You know that energy. They drain the fuck out of you and all you want to do is share, give a little, take a little, and they want to take it all. You know the energy. You know this. So if you're hanging out with people like that and you've been hanging out with people like that, God is saying it's time. It's time to purge this because I'm trying to take you places and we can't get there if you're trying to bring all these people with you. And these people don't even like you. These people aren't even for you. These people don't even want to see you happy. So what are you doing? Exactly. Give an inch, take a mile. Sometimes don't even give an inch. They just fake it. They pretend to be giving. Like that whole thing. Yeah. When you have Pisces in the 11th house, you're going to have a lot of snakes in your circles. A lot of snakes. People that do not want to see you win. People who secretly think that they're better than you. People who are in secret competition with you. People who want to siphon your energy and leave you dry, high and dry. Because Pisces is a very spiritual sign. And because Pisces is so bright, they attract a lot of darkness. So you need to be getting those scissors out this year, my girl. This is your month. And I'm sorry if I'm misgendering you, Lulu. Let me know if it's my guy, my girl, or they're them, because I'm trying to get better about this. Because I know I use this in my language all the time. Let me know your pronouns so I can speak appropriately. Okay, well that's good. At least you were prepping for that. Yeah, it's time for you to get out those scissors and it's time for you to trim your garden. Pisces is a very magical placement because it's very connected to God. Pisces is divine love. It's pure love. So it's good for you to give pure love to people. I'm not saying that you need to be cold-hearted. I'm saying when there are people in your circle that want to see you lose and that are doing things energetically for you to lose and for you to be harmed, you need to get those people out of your circle. Because you not getting those people out of your circle is telling God that you don't love yourself. And if that's the energy you're putting out there, then you're going to keep attracting people who don't love you because you don't love yourself. Because you're supposed to love you enough to want the best for yourself. That's why you were given this life. Because God thought the best of you. And when I say God, I don't mean religiously. I mean the creator of life. I mean source, whatever you want to call it. God thought the best of you and brought you here for this experience. So after you get here, if you decide to surround yourself with people who think the less of you, and people that don't want you to see you at your very best, people that don't want to see you rise and elevate and overcome, people that only want to take from you and step on you, and if somehow you start believing that this is all that you deserve, then it's not going to work out. So it's either you're going to get them out or God is going to get them out. But either way, during the Saturn period, people will get exposed. Okay? There's going to be drama in your friend group, in your family group. There's going to be some drama. Some people are going to do some things. Some people have done some things behind the scenes that they're going to get exposed for. People are going to be getting their karma for all the terrible shit that they've done to you that you didn't even know about, because Pisces is so like, oh, la, 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 whatever. You know, it's all going to work out. That's total Pisces energy, and I love it. But sometimes, Pisces, I wish you would look over your shoulder a little bit. Just a little, just a tiny little bit. Just, you know, just double check them people, just a little bit. Somebody says, sometimes I feel like I've only gotten so far only to help others. It's because you overextend yourself to them. You don't have to do that. Nobody's asking you to do that. Saturn is calling you to be responsible. That's what Capricorn is about. Capricorn is about responsibility. But you can't be responsible for me if you don't even know how to be responsible for you. So as a Capricorn, my first obligation is to myself. I have to be able to take care of myself. I have to be able to get myself up in the morning, take a shower, eat my breakfast, you know, do the things that I need to do, get dressed, work. Like, I have to do these things. That's why Capricorn is so big on working, because I have to be able to pay my own bills before I can take care of you. If I don't work, how am I going to survive? And if I have no money, how can I help you? So it really goes back to the self. If you feel like people are using you, it's because you're allowing yourself to be used. So you need to take responsibility for that. And again, Pisces does not like to take responsibility. Pisces likes to blame everybody else for the situations in their lives because they don't want to own it. They don't want to own the agency of it. Like, I am no longer wanting to associate with you because your energy is negative. Virgo has no problem saying that. That's Pisces' sister. But Pisces can't say that. Pisces would rather dodge and then pretend like they forgot that you were a trash human being. So you're going to be experiencing a lot of that. I don't think it's going to be necessarily something with you. It's going to be something with your group, the people that you're with. And you need to like get a tough skin because not everybody can go where you're being called to go. Okay? Yeah, you have to own up to some of those things. The things that you have allowed, you need to own up to them. And your refusal to learn those lessons will bring karma for you too. So it's either you're going to do the right thing and you're going to get the blessings, or you're going to do the wrong thing and you're going to get the karma. So TikTok is not trying to scare you. TikTok is just saying you need to grow up. Just because people like you doesn't mean that they mean well for you. And just because people are around doesn't mean they like you. That's the other thing. We need to redefine like. What does that even mean? What does that even mean that somebody likes me? Hi, Cardamom Pods. Thanks for joining. So that's really where you're trying to be called to. You know, it's time to develop maturity around the fact that you choose your circle, and it's time to own that. These are your choices. If somebody doesn't make you feel right, it's your choice to keep them in your life or not. Ultimately, it's your choice. And that's something you can learn from your sister sign Virgo, because Virgo is rational at the end of the day. Virgo understands logic at the end of the day. If you come around and you only take and you don't give, I'm not going to keep giving to you. That is a rational, normal decision. But Pisces, unlike Virgo, likes to act like a martyr, like, oh, this is all happening to me. Why is the world so cruel? These users, these terrible human beings. And meanwhile, what are you actually doing? What are you actually doing to protect yourself? Nothing. Nothing at all. Just complaining, just being dramatic, just, nothing. And then you have more and more horrible stories to tell about how people are screwing you over. So if you don't have a Virgo friend, you should get one, because I can teach you how to do that. They're excellent at that. If you're not bringing Virgo anything of value, why would they want to keep you around? For what? If you want the rest of the zodiac to stop treating you like the trash can of the zodiac, then you need to stop loving yourself enough to prioritize your needs. Everybody else is making friends based on an understanding that I give you some, you give me some. But if you want to make friends based on the understanding that you're going to be a martyr and people can just abuse you any kind of way that they want, and there's no repercussion, there's no consequences, they get to enjoy you as long as they want, and they can do whatever they want, then don't be surprised if all you get is shit. That's what you're welcoming. So this is time. It's time for you to clean your garden. It's time for you to trim those roses so that you can grow beautiful things in your garden. It's time. That's what he means for you. Oh, you feel so much better. Yay! I'm happy. That makes me feel good. All right, now there was another question. It was 11th house, North Node. I'm sorry, can you ask me again? I'd asked you to ask me again towards the end, so here's that moment. Oh, you're so welcome. It was Scorpio North Node. I just remembered North Node 11th house, and I did not remember the sign Scorpio. So Scorpio, so 11th house is about social circles, so much like the other person I was just speaking with. Theirs is Pisces, yours is Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio in 11th house, you're supposed to have a close social circle. Do you? So let's start with that. You're a Scorpio sun as well too, right, Tashmani, or are you Sag sun? Hi, Talisha, welcome back. I'm trying to remember if you're a Scorpio sun or Sag sun. Yes and no, questioning some of the people. What do you mean? Oh, Scorpio sun, okay. Sag rising and moon. Okay, got it. See, I know what the problem is here. It's that Sag rising. Lord have mercy. Sometimes those assignments are so difficult. Like, God, really? You're going to give me a Scorpio sun and a Sag rising and moon? Like, really, God? You really think I can work with this? Really? Sag rising and moon? Really? And Scorpio sun? So you want me to trust people but not trust them at all at the same time? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Show me then how I do that. This is a tough assignment. This is a very tough assignment. Yeah, it's time. Here's the thing. You're a Scorpio sun. One thing Scorpio is good about is their ego, okay? You lean into that ego, baby, like you ain't never leaned into it before, okay? Somebody don't feel right, you don't even need a reason. You get out of there. You get out of there, because your instincts are always spot on. Sometimes Scorpio can be too negative, like Capricorn, where they just expect the worst. But here's the thing about Scorpio, though. That's true, right? Too negative, expect the worst. But the flip side is, They're always right with their instincts. Their instincts are never wrong about people. Scorpio is a walk-in lie detector test. Walk-in lie detector test. They just know before you even say the thing. They already know you're going to lie before you say the thing. They could feel the lie coming out your mouth before it oozes out. They know it. So you are getting confused with the Sag rising because the Sag rising is giving you the impression of being the life of the party and the whoop-de-whoop. I love everybody. Let's have a good time. Yay. And the reality is Scorpio's internal world is a lot quieter. It's a lot darker. It's a lot more investigative. And it's a little bit less trusting. So it's like you have these two presentations. Like one is gregarious and the real you is like, yeah, that's what I think is going on. You can't trust not one of them and you've known them for years. Yeah, it's time. Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, but you know what? It's for your protection. Because you're too sensitive to just be out here just letting anybody do anything, any kind of way to you. You're not going to recover. You know how long it takes you to recover. You know how it is when people hurt you, how long it takes you to let it go. Sometimes you never even let it go. So why would you put yourself in a situation where people can just do any and everything to you? No. No, ma'am. The minute you don't feel comfortable in a situation, it is time to go. Yeah, the 11th house is all about friendships. It's all about social connections. So it's either like close friends. Sometimes it could be family, but it's also online communities. When you have, it's also online communities. Sometimes when you have Scorpio in the 11th house, people are attracted to your energy because when you have Scorpio there, people are just naturally going to be jealous of you. Okay? That's the other thing I need to share with you because Pisces also has some of that. For Pisces, it's not that they're jealous of Pisces, it's that they want to steal Pisces' energy. So Pisces doesn't have any energy to actually work on the thing Pisces needs to work on to become better. Because they already know Pisces has a lot of blessing on them. Because Pisces has Neptune, which is a planet of dreams. So Pisces, if Pisces has a dream and they really believe in it, it doesn't take much for Pisces to manifest that dream. Because Pisces is damn near psychic. And then Pisces also has Jupiter, which is a planet of luck. You put the dreams and the luck together, wrapped it up. Like, think about it. Justin Bieber is a Pisces. His manager, Peter Braun, was on the internet watching videos one night and just spotted him. And like, next thing you know what happened? Justin Bieber is a multimillionaire now, living, from Canada. Like, what are the odds that this young boy from Canada, a tiny little white boy, like he's a small little boy. It wasn't even like a, you know what I mean? But that's Pisces. Things fall on their lap. And the people who know Pisces energy know this. So these people are going to come around her, the last person, just to keep her in low self-esteem energy, keep her in lack energy, to keep her in this energy where she doesn't believe herself, she doesn't trust herself, she doesn't love herself, where she's negative all the time because they're just feeding her their negativity. They're just dumping their negativity on her. Eat this, eat this, eat this. And then she's giving all her positivity because, Pisces wants to be positive. So when they got their problems, she's encouraging them. She's speaking love over them. She's blessing them. She's doing everything she can for them. And then they're just giving her their negativity. And then it weighs her down. And she just stays in this state so she doesn't evolve. Because if she evolves, she's going to leave them. They don't want them to leave. They don't want her to leave. So that's what's going on over there. It's more like, I'm jealous of your energy and I don't want you to leave me because I need this energy. That's that. But for you, Scorpio, people are legit jealous of you. Okay? People are jealous of you. And Sagittarius rising and moon, people are naturally going to be drawn to you because that's a lot of Jupiter energy. It's a lot of grand energy. People love Jupiter energy. It's a planet of luck. Who doesn't like luck? Who doesn't like grand things? So people naturally going to be drawn to you. You got the Scorpio sun, but the rising gives you the presentation of being somebody that's outgoing, that's jovial, that's fun. I'm sure you're hilarious too on cue. Because when you put Sagittarius and Scorpio, I'm sure it's magic hanging out with you. But you have to understand, because your ego is Scorpio, you're here to learn how to be a Scorpio. And your Jupiter's in Aries? Okay. So if Jupiter's in Aries, you're here to trust your gut, which is more reinforcement for what I was, and your Chiron in Aries, that's why you're struggling. Yeah, you're here to trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. You need to stop trying to like make it make sense. It doesn't have to make sense, and no one cares. No one cares at the end of the day. Because if you don't feel right, there's a reason. Do you need to know this reason right now for you to respond to this emotion that you're getting? Your body is telling you something is out of place. Your mind is telling you something is out of place. Your intuition is telling you something doesn't feel right. Everything in your body, your DNA is screaming, this is not safe. It's your obligation as the adult in this situation to do something to protect your inner child, because your inner child is telling you, this ain't adding up. This don't feel good. You're the grown-up. So now you have to act as a grown-up and say, okay, my baby has spoken, all right? I don't know what's going on with the baby, right? I don't know what's going on with the little baby, little Tashtamani, but she's not all right with you. I don't know what you're doing over there, but she don't feel good, so we're going to remove her from this situation until further ado. But what do? You ignore it a lot, see? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Because that's the thing about Aries. Aries is too damn trusting. Too damn trust. Same way you're presenting your real self to people, that other people are presenting their real selves to you. No. Just because you're honest doesn't mean the world is honest. Just because you're honest doesn't mean other people are honest. Just because you value honesty doesn't mean other people value honesty simply because you decided to share it. That's not how it works. You have the gift of the Scorpion. You have the gift of intuition. Cardamom Pod said, I can attest to that. Yeah. Just because it's your framework does not mean it's a world's framework. You don't miss a beat when it comes to finding out what people are hiding. So why is it that you're denying yourself protection? Is it that you don't believe you're worthy of protection? Like, what's that about? Like, who taught you that you didn't deserve protection? That's what I would be asking myself if I were you. Who has taught me that I'm not worthy of protection? When I look back at my life, when was the first time that I felt unsafe and that I confided in an adult and that told me that they didn't care? Or that told me it wasn't that serious? Or that told me that they weren't going to do anything to protect me? Where did I learn this message? Who taught it to me? Who taught me that message? That's what I will be asking myself. Because whoever taught that to you is the reason why you're doing this now. This is not a situation that just happened now. You learned that in your childhood. Somebody taught you that. That when you're not safe, it's okay, we can just kiki our way out of it. Like, hey. Like, no, fuck that. No. I don't care even if it's a hint of I'm not safe. I don't care. I would rather you be hella paranoid and back it up than being like hella dismissive and then land on your face. Because that's what Jupiter and Aries will do. It will have you eating gravel off the fucking ground after they're done with you. And by done with you, I mean stabbed you in the back. That's what I mean. I'm sorry for whoever taught you that. I don't know what was going on with them. Obviously, they got their own issues. But you are worthy of love and protection. Okay? Your intuition is your inner child speaking to you. It's the little 7-year-old version of you talking to you. She's saying, something's not right. You're the mama now. So you get to go, okay, baby, let's go. That's your job now. That's your only job, to look out for yourself. Okay? You're very welcome. A lot of us, unfortunately, as girls have learned this lesson. It's a very gender-specific thing, you know. Even though God has blessed women with intuition, since we don't have the strength of a man, we were given intuition. A lot of us have learned or were taught to just dismiss it, to ignore it, to whatever, you know. and like danger is coming, and our body's like, you're not safe, and we're like, let me be a nice good girl and cross my leg and hope it's not as bad. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, no, get out of there. Your body is screaming because it's truly not safe. You don't have to know all the details. I don't need you to think about it a million times. I don't even care if you know why you're not safe. It doesn't matter. It just matters that you respond, that you acknowledge the feeling and you respond. That's it. You sort it out later. All right. So that was heavy, because I could feel there's like a heavy energy here with this question. But Scorpio energy is heavy. It is what it is. There's no escaping it. But I appreciate you asking. I love Scorpio energy, by the way. I love all the dark energies. I love them so much. Okay, so I'm going to take one last question, and that's going to be it for this evening. Sun in Capricorn. Oh, you already got me there. Speaking of, I love all the dark energies. Let's see. Oh, Moon in Aries. It goes deeper. Okay. Sag rising. We got another Sag rising in the house. 5 planets in the first house. Saturn, Uranus, Sun, Neptune, and Mercury. So Saturn is your chart ruler. Oh my goodness. So 12th house Capricorn, is that it? What's in your 12th house? MYE 0921. I'll just wait to hear. Scorpio. Okay. Yeah. Well, house Scorpio. Well, I wish we're ending on a high note, but we're not, because that's life. So we already talked about 12th house Scorpio a little earlier. Were you here for that part? And let me know if you weren't. I don't mind repeating it. I just want to make sure I don't waste your time with going over things you already heard. Oh, you weren't. Okay, you just joined. Okay. So, 12th house Scorpio is somebody who in a previous life was involved in the life of violence and crime. Okay? Violence and crime, so they come into this life to learn about empathy and compassion. Because of all this Saturn energy you have in your chart, and with having all these planets, in your chart with Saturn, and and having your, Sun in Capricorn, and you have this Jupiter rising, and then first house with Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Mercury. I know that there were some challenges with you, like being a law-abiding citizen and somebody that was actually responsible for the well-being of other people, somebody that cared enough about other people to do the right thing. So usually Scorpio 12th house people are very insensitive to other people's needs unless it's about them or unless it involves them, which, by the way, that's not a negative, because Scorpio is supposed to be selfish with their energy because they're in the dark. They can't trust anything or anyone because it's dark where Scorpio is, where they live. So Scorpio needs to be sure of the moves that they're making because they don't get many chances to get it wrong, When you're that far away from the sun and you're underneath at the deep down below in the water, swimming with a lot of disgusting, gross things that you can't see, you can't just trust anything. But unfortunately, the darkness of Scorpion energy is that the desperation starts to creep in and they start to do any and everything just to survive. And in 12th house Scorpio, it usually involves, like, if they happen to be a powerful person, it's using their power in a negative way, where it's not uncommon for them to use their power to abuse other people financially, sexually, or emotionally. So 12th house people, Scorpio is here to learn how to be kind to people, to treat people nice because it's the right thing to do, not because they can get something out of them. And to really treat people how they want to be treated and not get drunk with power. They're supposed to lean on their faith and their spirituality to manage the pain of life, as opposed to projecting that onto other people, which is what Scorpio does when they're not evolved. They're also supposed to find a way to process, all of their suffering in a way that does not harm other people. So you having all this first house planet with Jupiter, you're being granted a lot of good energy in this life to be able to overcome this. But with your Capricorn Sun, you definitely are not going to be able to successfully do that if you're irresponsible. So basically, your life is about learning how to be responsible, learning how to trust your instincts, and learning not to get drunk with overconfidence. So basically, actions have consequences. And let's be thoughtful about what we're doing and how we're doing it. And let's think about how the things that we're doing affect other people and how they make other people feel. In the same way that you're sensitive about what you feel, I need you to extend that same grace to other people. Understand that other people have feelings too. So they're sensitive about what they feel too. So even if you have something to say to somebody and it's the truth, is there a way to say that to them in a way that is more palatable to them, so that they don't feel violated by your words, so that they're in a better position to receive what it is that you're trying to say? Because if you're trying to tell them, it's obviously because you're trying to make them better, you're trying to make them aware. And if that is your true intention, then you want to do that in a way that can help them be more aware. But if it's about dominating them and you using your power and your dominance to humiliate them, or to shit on them or step on them, or demean them, then be honest about that, and then ask yourself, why is it that you feel you need to demean them to get your point across? So these are the issues that you're here to navigate through. How do I use my power wisely? How do I use it to build people up? How do I use it to build myself up by reconciling with some of the pain and suffering that I have in my heart from my life that I need to deal with, and how do I not project that onto other people? But you are going to have a lot of opportunities for success in this life. A lot of this is really going to center around your ability to practice self-control, because you have a lot of eclectic energy here that can either land you great success or great challenges, in the sense that you tend to shoot from the hips a lot. And the Capricorn Sun helps, but there's a lot of energy here that is very Jupiter energy, you put that with Mars energy, is very active. So I need you to take a breath before you're about to use your power to do something. If you need, I don't know if you're a boss or what, if you're a leader at your job or whatever, or a leader in your community or your family, but whenever you're about to pull out your stick of rulership, I need you to take a breath. Yeah, there's a lot of push-pull in your chart for sure. But I think you are going to have great success with your life because you've been blessed with a lot of good energy. But the great success is going to come from you being able to exercise self-control. So if you can get really good at self-control, the success pathway for you is very clear. But you're here to really stay in your lane in terms of not going over and beyond your line of responsibility in terms of your power. So use your power wisely. Don't be drunk with power. Treat people nice, and treat people the way you want to be treated, in the same way that you're tender and sensitive on the inside, other people are too. So let's do that same thing that we want done to us, to them. So that's basically it. And yeah, stay away from a life of crime, because you will get found out. You will get found out. You will get exposed. Scorpio in 12th house people are never able to keep their secrets a secret. They think they can because they're used to the darkness. They never can. They always get exposed. So stay away from that life. Just live an honest life, and do the right thing, basically, because karma is very heavy with Scorpio 12th house. But yeah, lots of good luck if you do the right thing. So that was it for today. 90-minute mark. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for all of your lovely questions this evening. I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow, 2 p.m. And thanks for all the gifts. And for those of you guys who just joined, I want to remind you to become a subscriber. There are times when I get a lot of questions, and it's nice to just be able to like shut down and focus on you guys. As a subscriber, I will follow your account. If you have ideas of videos, things, concept ideas you want me to make videos about, you can message me and I will do that for you. So there are lots of perks where you get priority in terms of my attention, my communication, and all of that. So if you would consider it, I would appreciate it. And thank you to my new subscribers. And I look forward to getting to know all of you better. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Take care. Love you guys. Bye.
You can book your astrology reading at intuitivehealing.com. You can also watch videos at Intuitive Healing here on YouTube for Astrology 101 content. Listen to the Aquarius podcast on Spotify, as well as here on YouTube for your horoscope. If you're interested in astrology and love connections, you can visit at Styled Under Libra. And of course, for health and wellness and holistic healing, visit at Styled Under Virgo for all of your astrology content. Thanks so much for watching.